This is Chula Chaki by Deltatron. One of the tracks that made music lovers like me around the world start noticing that wonderful things were happening in Peru. I'm Catherine Fellows, producer of Global Beats. I've always loved cumbia, the lilting dance rhythm born in Colombia but adopted and adapted in other countries, most notably Mexico and Peru. And this sound lured me in with all cumbia's warmth, but it was fresh and edgy too. For this program, I went to Lima to meet Deltatron and the other DJs, producers and musicians behind Peru's new cumbia scene.
Hello, I'm Paz Ferrand, also known as Deltatron. I'm a Peruvian producer and DJ of urban and tropical music. Yeah, and we're here in Global Beats Peru edition to talk about this music that we've been doing, the bands, the DJs and the producers for the past 10 years or more.
Hi Paz, this is you in Peru. And me, I can't believe it. We're finally meeting after all this time, communicating, planning.
First of all, thank you for coming to the country. I think you're gonna have a really good time because right now, like, the cultural scene is growing. People are making hella new music, a lot of new stuff based on traditions. So it's like a celebration of our culture. You're gonna eat very well because here in Lima is delicious food. People say it's the best in the world. But I don't know, you gotta check it by yourself. I used to live right there.
Paz wasted no time. We headed to Barranco, the Bohemian neighborhood where new cumbia was born. It's right by the Pacific Ocean. Lima is wrapped around a perfect sweeping bay, and it's home to a fantastic lunch spot specializing in ceviche, fresh raw fish marinated in lemon or lime juice with a touch of chili.
This is I don't know how to say in English, langostino, shrimp probably. A shrimp causa. Causa is like a potato mashed paste, layered with avocado. And the other one is a ceviche with avocado on top. And I don't know how to call this in English.
I think they're capers.
Yeah, capers.
Mm-hmm. Delicious.
Like, this scene started like 2008, 2009. In a way, we were trying to make new music, new sounds with old material, because there was like a movement in our city that people were trying to validate our city and our city culture. Because let's say, like, if we put in perspective, the older generation of mine, because of the crisis, of the terrorism and all that, they were indoctrinated on leaving the country, migrate, because our country was really bad, in the 80s. That changed a little with my generation, When we were kids, like when I was like 6, 5, I remember like my grandma used to like go miles to get just a pound of sugar or a pound of milk, It was pretty hard to find things because it was a scarcity, hyperinflation, and the terrorists were, bombing. In the 92, 93, when Fujimori entered, we have like 10 years of dictatorship, So in the 2001, 2002, when the dictatorship fell, it was not only a recovery of the music traditions, but the art tradition, the culinary traditions, all the traditions that make us rich, I remember back in the day, like in the 2008, 2007, it was a huge gastronomic boom, Everybody was like in a vibe of making Lima, big.
Ay, papi! Wow, another dish has just arrived.
Yeah, this is another ceviche.
This looks amazing.
This is another type of ceviche.
This is heaven.
I told you. A lot of people were trying to stay here and to live here, so they were trying to develop their culture in here. So most of them were thinking, including myself, like, why we should keep copying other styles, like keep being colonial even in our culture, So we're trying to do that style that is a mix of all the influences that we have. It might be, electronic music, reggae, rock, whatever, with the national songs that we listen growing up with our parents or, people around us.
In 2010, Paz set up the Terror Negro label and began releasing tracks by his talented bunch of friends and fellow DJs, including Chacruna, Elegante y La Imperial and Tribilin. They were mixing samples from Peru's rich musical archive with electronic beats, recordings from the streets, snippets from radio, other musical genres, and cooking up a storm. Meanwhile, Dengue Dengue Dengue, a Peruvian outfit headed by Rafael Pereira and Felipe Salmon, were also developing a style of electronic psychedelia influenced by Argentine artists who were rediscovering indigenous South American music. Dengue 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 are now based in Berlin, and such is the demand for Peruvian music that Paz himself spends half his time DJing in other countries, especially the US.
I love to play for Latinos in the States. That's like one of my favorite pleasures. Texas, California.
Between mouthfuls, Paz tells me how important he feels it is to be giving value and visibility to Latin culture, especially now when Latin communities in the US feel under attack thanks to Donald Trump's wall plans.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening?
There's this song called Blanquito, and it speaks about when you've been called, yo, you're not Latino, man, you're white, you know?
So you're accused of not being Latino?
Yeah, all the time, because I'm white. I'm white skinned, but when I'm with the whites, they know I'm Latino. I'm with the Latinos, they think I'm white, you know? But my point is with that song and with everything is that what Latinos can teach the rest of the United States is that Latino is not a race. Latino is a culture. So it doesn't matter your race. You know, what should matter is your culture. The traditions you have, the ideas you have, the root of Latin people is mix, you know? So that's what you can choose to the rest of the world. That is the mix that's gonna make us stronger, not the oh, I'm black, oh, I'm white, oh, I'm Chinese, you know? The future is brown, you know?
Every last morsel of ceviche finished, Paz Ferrand and I head round the corner to meet Lorenzo and Matteo, two school friends.
Lorenzo
Hi.
from Olaya.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. The three of them created a band, Olaya Sound System. Paz left to do his own thing, but the band is thriving. In fact, Paz says it's the new cumbia bands he's most excited about at the moment because so many of the tropical-based DJs and producers are too busy touring to make much new music.
My name is Lorenzo Solesi. I'm part of Olaya Sound System. I'm the singer and guitarist. And well, with Matteo and with Paz and with other guys, we found the band 10 years ago. Yes.
It's still going strong.
Still going strong, yeah. Stronger and stronger. No?
You're just about to go off to Chile on tour, is that right?
Yes, we're going to Chile next week. In general, the Chilean people is very curious and they like a lot all the tropical culture of Peru. No?
So do you think Peruvian music is having an impact across South America? I mean, do other South American countries see you as leading the way?
Well, I don't know if we're leading the way because we are like behind in terms of production. Our musical industry is very small, is very informal. But I would say Peruvians are leading, I would say, the inspiration. Because, you know, Peru, it's historically, you know, a very special place that was one of the borns of civilization, actually. Not only, you know...
Cradles of civilization, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, we have Caral, you probably heard about that. That was at the same time that Egypt, you know, the pyramids and everything. So we have
very ancient cultures. Yeah.
Exactly, and our heritage of that is still living, is still blooming. In other South American countries, I don't know, like Chile, like Uruguay, Argentina, they like eradicate their own native cultures, and in Peru that didn't happen. That culture survived and is still living right now. I mean, is cohabitating with the Occidental culture and everything, but it's still living. And they see Peru and they think, wow, how big is your culture? How much different things you have, you know, how many waters you have to drink of different flavors and different subcultures, because Peru is not only one culture, as you probably know, it's many cultures, from the jungle, from the mountain, from the south, the north, and we have a lot of cultural products that are still like virgin. That give us a lot of inspiration, a lot of responsibility, I think, on Peruvian artists, of take this message from Peruvian culture and all the solutions that our culture can offer to the problems of the world right now. I mean, I think that in the imaginary of our cultures, you know, from the mountains, from the jungle, from the Afro-Peruvian also, there are a lot of ways as they conceive the living that can help a lot right now in the different problems that the world have with contamination, you know, with the breakdown that our societies are suffering right now. So
that's a big claim.
Well, I think so. Yeah, I think I really think so. I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe that. The Andean culture specifically has like a way of conceiving the life a lot more in harmony with the land, with all the living beings, you know, with the water, with the mountains, with the sea, and for example, going also in the cultures of Peru, we have a lot of knowledge about, for example, plants and herbs and fruits and a lot of things that are actually medicine of the first quality that you can imagine, right? Right now, everyone talks about the ayahuasca, and many people from Europe and the US comes to, you know, to heal themselves with ayahuasca. That is a very, very powerful medicine, and it has totally a healing power that could, as I say, solve the problem of the world today. I mean, I really believe that if the leaders of the G20 or whatever make up a session, I mean, it sounds crazy, but of ayahuasca, and could, you know, understand the need of the communion with all the living beings, I mean, the world would be another place, right? So I feel our music take all this root of this living root of Peruvian culture and Andean culture, no, these melodies that are so characteristic of here, and the rhythm, and you know, these elements that like connect you to the earth, right? It's Peruvian music and Peruvian culture, I think it's very in communion with all the creation, and has a lot of earth, a lot of sea, you know, a lot of sky. I don't know, it's like transport you to a natural, I don't know, paradise. Or we are Olaya Sound System, and this song is called Jacaranda, or BBC Global Beats in Peru.
Regresando en la madrugada, casi desvariando por los estímulos, pero que es esa luz que me llama y me encanta con su hipnosis celestial. Brilla el jacaranda, refleja pura luminosidad como una estrella fugaz que al pasar a todos nos alumbra. Brilla el jacaranda, refleja por pura luminosidad como una estrella fugaz que al pasar a todos nos alumbra. Y brilla el arbolito de jacaranda que te traerá la felicidad. Brilla el arbolito de jacaranda. Vengo aferrándome a los segundos, me
Jacaranda, performed by Olaya Sound System in Lima, Peru. And you can hear 2 more songs by them on our webpage. This is Global Beats on the BBC with me, Catherine Fellows, and Paz Ferrand, a key figure in Peru's new cumbia scene. Key also, says Paz, is Mente. Extraordinarily, this groundbreaking and popular band has its roots in the same school as Olaya's.
It was a really musical place, and it was a really inspiring place because they let you be you. My companions in my class were Lorenzo and Mateo from Olaya's. And the guys from Mente, they were like our older guys, they were like 10 years older, but they were our teachers on like, they used to teach me bass and drums. Even, like the first record of Mente, they were speaking to us, like the youngest, We thought that when they released that. So it was really powerful for us. I remember we hear one time the demo of the album, and I have chicken bumps, For me, that record was like they were saying, we care about the city, and we're going to stay in this city. That's why I think they were so successful too, because the people needed that. The people needed someone to tell them, we have the status to have a band like this.
Mente. Welcome to BBC Global Beats.
Hola, mi nombre es Ricardo y soy parte de La Mente.
Yo soy Nicolás y canto y también soy parte de La Mente.
Soy Rafael, guitarrista de La Mente.
This first album, which Paz feels was so important and your contribution to the scene, how did that come about for you guys?
Nosotros veníamos de una historia de rock también. De hecho, formamos un sello discográfico.
Yeah, basically we were like guitar bands, punk, ska, reggae. We have a power trio, and then we had this anxiety to try and prove some other stuff, And Ricardo had these songs, and Nicolas had these songs that they wouldn't play with their guitar bands because it wasn't in the mold of rock and roll, So it's like they started demoing this music at the studio, and it was absolutely experimental, And it was a lot of influence from sound system culture, reggae, cumbia, rock, heavy rock as well, heavy guitars, distorted guitars, and there was this thing that there were no boundaries. We want to do dub with reggae, with guitars and cumbia, and there's a main backbeat, like electronic backbeat with rock on top, and it was like really dance music as well, like tropical dance, dub. It was like really positive, It was like a lot of power in the music and a lot of joy. And yeah, Paz was right, that it was like a moment where it was like important that some band came up with this fusion, because it was like a lot of people were listening to cumbia, a lot of people reggae, a lot of people rock, but it was all like divided, stratified. And the first time we played, the second time we made full house, So the Mente straight away, wow, it was like a bomb,
So there's a song you're going to perform for us today called Radio Funeral. Can you tell us what that is about?
The radio here is almost like a representation of how the society in Peru is very divided. So we all our lives have heard this music from the Carretera Central, that is cumbia, like coming from the Andes to the coast. It's a fusion of coastal culture and the highland from the Andes culture. And it will be music that will be almost like marginal. We will only hear it from the working class people listening in little radios, and it will be never on the main radio station. So the song talks about that, that we are like trying to make justice to this music that is not on the big time radios, because it's like marginal. It's like music for the people,
Buenas tardes, Tarapoto. Radio Funeral promueve. Música que no sonaba, música que no radiaba, música que se prendía justo cuando tú te apagabas. Suena una radio en el techo y mancha el pecho de tu ploma ciudad. Tus hijos se enajenan y los hijos de tus hijos nacen presos de esta vieja nueva novedad. pensaba y si no improvisaba. Nadie sospechó siquiera que esto ocurriera, y menos en nuestro santo hogar. La niña no hace otra cosa que moverse como un animal. Música que no te avisa y viene deprisa como un gran vendaval. Música que te convierte y no te advierte después qué pasará. En tropical hasta el hospital y en el funeral, nadie llorando, todos saltando sin poder controlar. La invasión es total. La victoria, la mente totalmente acaba de lograr. El festival para la BBC. Vamos, Selva, ay. Música directa, música honesta. Esta música que dicen que apesta. Pero por favor ponle play a la música. Pero por favor que reviente la música. Música honrada, esa que te cuenta la historia sin tanta huevada estereotipada. Música del mal, electropical, descabellada por excelencia. Con mucho respeto para la audiencia. Se dice que viva la música ciencia. Ciencia del Perú.
La Mente, which means the mind in Spanish, with Radio Funeral, performed for Global Beats in Lima, Peru.
Listening to your favourite programmes and catching up on the news headlines on your phone is now even easier with the new BBC World Service app. And our call to listen function makes it possible to listen even when you don't have great mobile data coverage.
This is the BBC World Service.
Because it can be an unpredictable thing. You might have it here, but not here. And sometimes the cost of using data where you are can simply be too expensive. So for those moments, just hit the Call to Listen button in the middle of the screen. Call to Listen is only available in selected territories. For dial-up news services, standard geographic mobile charges will apply. Please check with your provider for exact cost before calling. Download the new BBC World Service app from your usual app store.
When I first time heard the album, I was upset, ashamed, because it blew my mind so much that I was like, why can't I do a record like this, you know? Like, I need this guy in my team. He ain't going nowhere, you know?
Join me, Catherine Fellows, in Global Beats in a couple of minutes when super successful Peruvian DJ and producer Deltatron takes me to meet one of his greatest rivals.
BBC News. New Zealand police believe that only one gunman carried out the shooting at two mosques in Christchurch on Friday that killed 49 people. The Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, has visited survivors of the attacks in hospital. 11 people remain in intensive care, including a 2-year-old child. The government in Zimbabwe says 24 people have died in a tropical storm that swept away homes and bridges. The Information Ministry said a group of people who fled their homes were marooned on a mountain as strong winds delayed a rescue attempt. Money changers are staging a strike across Afghanistan to protest about being targeted by kidnap and extortion gangs. Last week, the 6-year-old daughter of a Kabul money changer was murdered. A currency exchange union, which represents about 20,000 licensed traders, says it's registered 10 cases of threats and abductions in the past 3 months. The Western-backed Syrian Democratic Forces, who are targeting the last foothold of the Islamic State group in Syria, say they've killed more than 30 jihadists in the past 24 hours. The SDF's final push on the eastern village of Baghouz began on March the 1st, but was suspended to allow civilian evacuations. French police have used water cannon and tear gas to try to disperse yellow vest protesters who erected barricades in central Paris. Hundreds of members of the protest movement are marching, hoping to revive their faltering weekly demonstrations. The residents of an Australian town have held a memorial service for a beloved crocodile that was found dead earlier this month. The reptile, known as Bismarck, was thought to be 80 years old and was popular with both tourists and residents in Cardwell in Queensland. People scattered flowers off the town's jetty to the sound of the Elton John song Crocodile Rock. BBC News.
Welcome back to Global Beats in Lima, Peru. With me, Catherine Fellows, and Paz Ferrand, DJ, producer and founder of the Terror Negro label, which has been stunning the world with its electro cumbia releases.
Normally, the European rhythm is 4x4.
We're on our way to Terror Negro HQ. It's a flat once shared by Paz and fellow producer Tribilin, and where Tribilin, Alvaro Ernesto, still lives and works.
And the cumbia is a rhythm in a 4-beat, you know. They have 2 dogs.
Scary dogs.
No, because I used to live with them when they were kids, you know.
Puppies.
Puppies, I have puppies. So they go crazy when they see me. They were like, oh, man.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Mucho gusto. Álvaro.
Hi. Catherine. Pleased to meet you. So Alvaro, otherwise known as Tribilin.
Yes.
I've actually been listening to your music all day.
Thank you very much. Really, thanks. This is a Cumbia de Octavio, dedicated to my first son, Octavio. And I'm really so proud of this track because I know everything around the world and Europe loves to play that in some discotheques, bars. I love to make some mashups of cumbia and chicha in this track. My boy was my inspiration to make this.
So he's now 5, Octavio, your son?
Yeah.
Does he like it?
Yes, he likes it. He also dances it.
So apart from your son being an inspiration, what else inspired it? Where do you get the ideas to make your tracks?
Ideas everywhere. Every day when I go to the market, this picture of the sun, the sea, and the people and the parties. Sometimes when I go to the street, I usually have my recorder and I look to sample everything around me. Some voices of people of the radio, some voices of politicians. Sounds like the sounds of the combi here in Peru. The cobrador when he says where he is going. For example, Avenida Brasil, todo Javier Prado, La Marina. This man
like
is,
the bus conductors.
Yeah, this man is screaming and I like those sounds, the sound of the cars, the sound of the traffic. I also like to go to provincia and to other towns where I can find vernacular music or folklore music. I like to mix that and make something new.
How long does it take you to make a track?
Sometimes it's like a rush of inspiration and say, wow, maybe one day, maybe a week. A few years ago, I made like 20 tracks in one day, I think.
20 tracks in one day?
Sure, yeah, that's what. And 7 or 8 of that track was the EP Aquí Siempre Bailamos for regional label.
A lot of your tracks have quite a nostalgic feel, like your beautiful song that you've done, which was originally by a Chilean singer.
Victor Jara.
That's right, and I actually discovered him thanks to your remix.
Yeah, Well, it's a little bit curious because sometimes people, they want music for party, but sometimes I think it's so important to make music to feel.
No puedes volver atrás, no tienes más que seguir, que no te aturde el engaño, sigue hasta el final. La herida que va contigo, ¿quién la puede mejorar?
Well, it certainly worked for me. I think it's a beautiful track. Unfortunately, he was killed, wasn't he, in the dictatorship in Chile?
That really it touched my heart, and I say, wow, I have to make something for redemption of that track.
¿Cuánto tienes que vivir para ver la libertad? La montaña cruza el viento, ¿de dónde hacia dónde va? ¿Cuántos tienen que morir para ver la libertad?
The amazingly talented, amazingly unassuming Tribilin.
Tribilin is such a special character.
He's very talented.
He's super talented, and that's what I thought the first time I met him in my life. I need this guy in my team. I remember clearly, he wrote me an email saying, I got it album, I want to release it. So when I first time heard the album, I was upset, ashamed. I took it the wrong way because it blew my mind so much that I was like, why can't I do a record like this? You know, like I was
But you were upset because he was doing something,
so
and you were like, I wish I did it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, man, this album is so good because it was so good. Everybody who heard it, the first Tribilin record, everybody was like, damn, man, where is this guy from? Where he came from? Who is, Hi, my name is Paz Ferrand, aka Deltatron. We're in Global Beach, Peru. Right now we're next to the beach of Lima, the Pacific Ocean, in a food festival. And the La Nueva Invasión is just about to play, so we're pretty excited to hear them.
It turns out that the lead singer of the next band, Paz, is keen to introduce us to, La Nueva Invasión, or the New Invasion, has an enthusiastic posse of female fans. He's the charismatic and hyper-energetic Antonio Vicente.
We leave everything on the stage. We just like to play.
Does it actually give you energy? I mean, you're leaping around like a mad thing, but do you feel exhausted now, or do you feel high?
Definitely, I am feeling high right now. It's like a drug to me, music. I dance with all my angels and with all my demons also. So I feel free when I am playing.
Amazing. La Nueva Invasión. Is that a correct pronunciation? You say it.
Yes. 10, it's perfect. The new invasion, La Nueva Invasión, the name means to us something like we make things happen. No, we never sit quietly hoping that maybe some producer came along and do the job for us. No, we like to play hard because you only live once.
Am I also right that it's a reference to colonialism in Peru as well, and people coming into Lima in a new wave and in a way reclaiming the country? I think it was Paz who told me that this was the meaning. He might have got it wrong.
No, that's the meaning also, but I don't know how to say it in English. So you have just said very well. No, it's like, I think what happens in Peru is almost the same what is happening to other poor countries around the world. There is a minority who rules over the majority, who has the political power, the money, the medias. If you want to be on television, on radio, you have to make empty music, not like stupid music. You don't have to say anything. You have to be like a clown on the TV, on the radio. And we don't want to do that. And sometimes there is another way of discrimination that you have to be with the color of our skin sometimes, If you look like an Indian, you have to be sorry about it. But we don't want to be sorry about the way we look. We are proud, But if you are proud and you have something political to say, you are dangerous. So we are kind of dangerous to some people.
This is radio. Obviously, people can't tell what race you are, what you look like, which is one reason I love radio, is that it's colorblind. And actually, as a non-Peruvian, I can't even see the subtle differences that I gather Peruvians can perceive in each other. Just describe sort of factually what the ethnic mix of your band is.
Well, we're like half-breed. Mestizo, half-breed. This is what we are. But the Spanish people, when they were here, they put a name for each color, like cholo, mulatto, criollo, sambo, So we are trying to build a country right now here in Peru. Mm-hmm. We are not one nation. Mm-hmm. We are a lot of nations trying to be proud about all the things that we are. And we all, the invasion and the other musicians, we are in the middle of that. We are in the middle of this struggle.
So tell me a bit about your background. Where do you come from?
I grew up here in Lima. I started playing in a punk rock band. And in a way, the invasion is like cumbia with punk, the energy. My parents, when I was young, they used to do trabajo cultural en la calle, gestión cultural,
Oh, cultural work.
Yeah, yes. I always has been, involved in the art world.
You grew up in an artistic environment.
Yes, I did.
Most of you, the musicians that I've met, who are very conscious and socially conscious, are actually from quite privileged artistic backgrounds. Do you think it matters that this music is coming out of this milieu rather than a more grassroots, or it's not being reinvented from the roots up, shall we say? Do you understand what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Does that matter?
Yes, I think about that a lot. We are trying to use the little privilege we have to try to do things right, to try to share with the rest of the people, and we work hard to do that. Hi everybody, we are the invasion from Lima, Peru, South America, against injustice, against discrimination, against poverty.
Quiero así, quiero que lo tengas claro. Toma de lo mío, un poquito a cada rato. Yo te quiero así, quiero que lo tengas claro. Dame de lo tuyo, un poquito a cada rato. Yo seré tu almuerzo, cena y desayuno. Seré la agüita que te moja en el ayuno. Mariposas en tu vientre que de a poco sumo. Seré tu fuego, la hierba y el humo. Seremos como dos niños cohibidos que descubren juntos lo prohibido. Amantes del colchón en el piso, navegantes de los besos sin aviso. Yo te quiero así, quiero que lo tengas claro. Toma de lo mío, un poquito a cada rato. Yo te quiero así, quiero que lo tengas claro. Dame de lo tuyo, un poquito a cada rato. Seré Somos la fruta que cae de madura, la dosis más pura de nuestra locura. Pípara, la habitación oscura, soñamos que hay escape de esta locura. No pactemos con amor civilizado, solo con amanecer al lado, codo a codo, en la risa y el dolor, porque el resto es lo que sobra del amor.
We wanted to do a song that talks about all kind of love. A man with a woman, a man with a man, a woman with a woman. Love that is built on respect and liberty, and freedom. It has a little bit of cumbia, It has a little bit of dancehall reggaeton, and it has saya music. Pum 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 from the south of Peru.
Yo te digo no, tú me dices sí, toma lo que quieras y tómalo aquí. Yo te digo no, tú me dices sí, pero no te asustes si viene con aquí. Yo te quiero sí, yo te quiero sí, yo te quiero sí.
Yo te quiero así. I love you just the way you are, courtesy of La Nueva Invasión. This is Global Beats with me, Catherine Fellows, in Lima, checking in with the creative guys responsible for a boom in Peruvian dance music based on cumbia and tropical rhythms. And you'll have noticed that so far they have all been guys, but there are one or two women making waves too. This is a track called Fiebre Voodoo, Voodoo Fever, released in a compilation called Ritmo Diablo by Paz Ferran's Terror Negro label, showcasing Afro-Peruvian rhythms. It's the creation of Shushupe. Your studio is immaculate. There's not a speck of dust anywhere.
I was cleaning before you come.
This is, well, that would be a very stereotypical thing to say, wouldn't it? That it's the studio of a woman.
You were in the Peruvian studio?
The Peruvian house.
It was, yeah. Let's say there were a few more things around.
So, Shushupe, tell the people, how did your name come up? Because your name is really embedded in jungle culture.
In English. Hi everybody. Shushupe is a very poisonous snake of the Amazon jungle. Before I was DJ or producer, I am a forestry engineer. So I found a very big snake and I yelled like, "Una boa!" And the people that live in the jungle, they told us, "Oh, this is the Shushupe." So when I come to Lima, I tell this to my friends and they began to say me, "Oh, Shushupe, be careful with Shushupe, she can bite you and put your poison." Then I began to be a DJ and I like a lot of the tropical music, cumbia, that was a typical music from the Amazon, so it was perfect, you know.
It's a great name, Shushupe.
My last travels to the Amazon, there was from record sounds of nature in the middle of the forest.
What did you record?
I record birds, background of the forest. Also, I don't know, at 5 a.m. you can listen a lot of birds waking up. And in the night, also insects. You don't know what is moving there because it's very dark, but it's really interesting and enigmatic or, you know, mysterious, and I like it.
Shushupe, you're the only female DJ producer that we've met. Why do you think it's so male-dominated? Even actually the bands. Yesterday we were with the manager of La Nueva Invasión, and she was saying that she could count the number of women in bands in Peru on her hands. You know, there's probably only about 10 of them.
Well, I think that now there are more female DJs in Lima, but for more electronic techno house.
When you started, were there any?
Maybe 3 that they are well known.
And that was across all genres of DJ?
Yes, maybe I was the first like playing, cumbia or tropical beats. Yeah, I don't know why, maybe in Peru we are like a machista country. Also, my mom, maybe she don't like that I go out in the night, and maybe here the parents of female, they are like more conservative.
When she came, at first, a lot of us we didn't like accept it, We didn't take it serious, because we were like 9 guys all the time, Imagine like the conversation we had about women, it was like, I can tell it because it was really macho, So when Chuchipe came, at first she was just a DJ, But when we started to see her own productions, that's when everybody like embraced it, because she had like a new style.
Sounds like it was quite a tough journey to win their respect.
Well, I never care, about that.
You actually didn't care.
But really, the beginning also, maybe they talk, oh, she don't know how to mix, she blah blah, because I also was playing a lot in a lot of parties, so maybe I think, oh, they are not so happy that I am playing
Maybe they were a little bit jealous.
Yes.
Shushupe, who introduced me to her pet snake as we were leaving her apartment.
En la madrugada, cuando aún está despierto, la luna sonríe para verte feliz. Cuando todos duermen, pero tú estás despierto, el cielo sacude su cubierta gris.
Another feisty female who's making her presence felt in the Peruvian new cumbia scene is Chasca Pauca. She's recently added her distinctive vocals to Hitla Rosa, a new cumbia band with a distinctive, funky, sultry, psychedelic vibe. She's a drama school grad, and she's a mesmerizing performer, as we discovered when Hitla Rosa came to the Global Beats studio.
Hito Uno, which is something like milestone 1, it's actually the first lyric that I wrote. And the lyrics are very simple, actually. It's about someone being alone and feeling the moon, and feeling that the moon is like taking care of them, and that you can be free to travel in your life with your open, awakened mind.
Despierto, la luna sonríe para verte feliz. Cuando todos duermen pero tú estás despierto, el cielo sacude su cubierta gris. El viaje comienza cuando tú te despiertas. El viaje comienza cuando tú te liberas. Siente tu cuerpo y fluye de adentro. Siente tu cuerpo y fluye.
Isla Rosa with Hito Uno. You've been listening to Global Beats in Lima, Peru, with me, Catherine Fellows, and my guide to the new cumbia music scene, the amazing one-of-a-kind Paz Ferrand, Deltatron.
Thank you very much for listening to the program. I hope you enjoy the music we bring you, and I hope you can come and visit Peru sometime in your life.
Thank you too to all the musicians who gave their time and performed for Global Beats. Check out the BBC website for more music and a full track listing. Hasta la vista!